Hello, ladies and gents. Romie Mojo here. Please like, comment, subscribe. So I've been watching Elite for the past couple of seasons, and I must say I thoroughly enjoy this show. I really do. I really, really, really do. And I'm just so thankful that we get season after season after season. So now with this latest season of spoiler alert, who killed Polo? I was happy it was him. That's what we need to start off with. I was happy that it was him. And I'll tell you why. Polo, unfortunately, we see this season, his family life, his two moms, the one mom who is just super nice and super sweet, super understanding. The other one who's basically a dictator and authoritarian and very traditionalist. Polo's bisexual, his mother are lesbians, and Polo this season, Polo always gave me, he actually kind of prefers guys, but maybe likes the traditional setup of being with a girl. However you want to phrase it, that doesn't really matter here. What does matter is that he found himself in a polyamorous type of lifestyle, and his moms did not approve of it at all. He also had to deal with the fact that Polo is one of those people who holds in his emotions, and that's dangerous when you're the type where you hold it in until you can't anymore and you just release all of it to the world. That's what he does, and that's what he does often. That's dangerous due to the fact that when you're that personality type, you will explode. It'll be so bad. And we saw he killed someone the last time that happened. And actually, no, the second to last time, because he almost killed someone again. He is a mess. But that was last season. Now we're trying to figure out who killed him, which means that we have to go backwards, see what happened. Ander annoys me. He's one of those characters where I get it. Maybe I don't. Maybe that's why he annoys me. I get it in theory, but he is so moody and most of the time. That's his default, moody and and Omar having to deal with that the entire season. I'm thinking, Omar, just leave. I said, ooh, where'd you go? You can't afford to live on your own. Where'd you go? You can't go back home, unfortunately. Now that's the part that's messed up. I knew they would have their trials and tribulations this season, but no one else more than Samuel and Guzman. Samuel and Guzman are like the crime fighting duo that you just don't like. I don't think I like most of these characters. Most of them annoy me. Most of them come off self-righteous even if they're in the right, and that's the worst type. Samuel has to deal with the fact that his mother and brother are both gone. His mother went to be with his older brother because she needs support. She's one of those people that needs support, and there's nothing wrong with that, but there is when you have children and you're supposed to be the parent, but they're basically doing the parenting, which is what Samuel is going through. And Guzman, he's still railing off the fact that his sister is dead. His sister's dead, and his sister's killer now gets to come back to the school, and that shook everyone except for pretty little, where is she? Come on now. Carla, I understand where she's coming from. Her father is a douche. He is terrible. He's deplorable. He's tragic. He's trash. And because of that, she has to go and be the perfect pawn. I won't say daughter, the perfect pawn. her father basically tells her this season to go and do whatever you need to do to save our winery. He made bad business deals. The mother is useless. I'm just saying what it is. The mother's useless, and it's up to her to go and save her entire family. So she has to go and canoodle with Ure. He was this chubby guy who got picked on a lot, and he fell in love with Carla because Carla was super pretty and nice to him publicly online, and he never forgot that. He became very successful. He has his own app, essentially his own like dating app, if you will, and everyone at school obsesses over him except for Carla. Eventually Carla has no choice but to pretend to be his girlfriend because her father tells her, you need to save the winery. You need to save the winery. You're going to do this. You can't be poor. Your mother can't be poor. This is just what it is. Sorry to tell you that. And it's pretty embarrassing. It's pretty sad. And I say all of that because imagine you having to go and pimp yourself out. And the bad thing about Ure is he doesn't even listen to her. He likes the idea of her. And that's what she keeps trying to tell him. You like the idea of me. You don't actually like me. She even fell into drugs. And you know she's very controlled, very pulled back, very together, but she has an addictive personality. And she fell into drugs because that was her only way of dealing with the fact that she has to be in a relationship that she doesn't want to be in. Which a lot of people, they actually get into that scenario. So I felt bad for her for a little bit. We have to remember she helped Polo hide this stuff, so we can't go and just feel too bad for her. But I did feel bad when she had to pretend like to not like Samuel because her father said he'll do something to Samuel if she goes and canoodles with him. So that was interesting. I like the growth that we saw in characters like Lou and Yusef. By the end of this season, Yusef was able to let go of Nadia. Nadia, here's essentially her storyline. Nadia, she wants to go away to New York to go to school. And that's great. The issue is that her father, aside from, finances, she can't go by herself. Because traditionally, mainly for safety and just culturally, the women don't just go by themselves, especially to other countries, understandably to a degree. And because of all of that, she has to go now and canoodle with this new guy. The new guy who I hear is actually like a rapper over there. Malik, him. So he, now I don't think he's bisexual. I think he's actually gay. And I looked at him and said, something's not right here. And I said, he's chasing Nadia a little bit too much. And I did like their first interaction where he went into her store. He went towards the back. She said he looked suspicious, so he had to take the stuff out of his backpack. He didn't steal anything. But it was kind of the whole showing like, okay, we're both Muslim, but I'm black. So you still look at me differently. I see how they threw in more racial stuff this season. And they've always kind of had that in there, and even in some cases overt, especially with Lou. Lou was the one who actually spearheaded a lot of that, but they kind of spread it out with other stuff, and I'm fine with that. I actually like that. I think that's a little bit more realistic. So Malik, he has this billionaire father in Africa, great, beautiful gowns, and he needs a wife. So he's choosing Nadia, and Nadia's happy because he's the ideal mate that her parents would 100% approve of, and she could even go to school in New York. Problem is, he's trying to use her as a beard, and they brought that up last season about all of that. And he goes and makes a move on Omar. They start to have this pseudo relationship. I didn't think it was going to last because I know Omar really, really, really loves that annoying, annoying twerp, Ander. But he needed an escape. So he had his escape. It was temporary. They were supposed to all go to New York together. Omar decided to stay back. Ander was dealing with having, I believe it was leukemia. He even cut off his hair because of the chemo. And we understand that he was going through that. He even wanted to give up, but his friends and family were there, and he actually went into remission. So his storyline is going to be okay. At the club where, again, Polo was killed, each time we kind of see more and more, just like how we see Samuel. He did betray, well, he did betray his not one true love, which is the problem. Rebecca, such a great girl, but maybe not for Samuel. And her mom getting arrested because Samuel placed a bug in their house, and then she finding out that Samuel did it. I did like how she caught him. That was cool, where she had put this paint all over her purse, and she did this transaction to get the information regarding who was the person who spied. Samuel tried to hide her purse, and then he got caught up. She caught him, but again, they couldn't really focus too much on all of that because someone was gonna die. And it was Polo, and I keep saying that because I enjoy it. I loved when Guzman pretended to be cool with Polo and pretend to have an issue with Samuel just so that he can go and get Polo into his house and then drug him and beat him until he confessed, which Polo did confess, but it didn't matter at that time. This show. What else do I want to talk about? Character development. Lou being cut off because of her brother. Her brother was also cut off, but he was cut off. Like, Lou could at least stay in the house. Her brother, not so much. They told him, why don't you get the F out? Valerio had to stay out. Lou was trying to help him out, but he ended up staying with Samuel, which I knew that wasn't going to last for too long because then Valerio and Rebecca were selling drugs together. I knew that wasn't going to last too long because Valerio, that was a low point for him. Almost becoming a trick just to get drugs from Rebecca's mom. It's like everyone had their issues, all stemming one from the other. Growth with Lou was her telling the truth to her father about her feelings for her brother. That sentence is gross, but that was growth for her. Growth again was her trying to work hard on getting the scholarship since now she didn't have any money. Growth again was her accepting the scholarship, or at least splitting it with Nadia. Growth again was her treating Nadia like a human being when she found out that Omar and Malik were doing stuff and she was trying to protect Nadia. See, that's the thing. It's all about your bounce back, your comeback. Lou, when she finally had her true fall from grace, she didn't have her relationship. So when she threw the party, she didn't have her usual automatic date. When she was doing all this other stuff, she had to come up with ideas. She had to be crafty. She became a better person when she became less privileged or no longer privileged. And that happens sometimes. It doesn't happen all the time. It's not automatic. There has to be something better and more in you to do that. So I will give her some points for that. I feel bad for Rebecca. She just wants a normal life, but clearly her mom doesn't. They left that on the cliffhanger as far as what's going to happen there. I did like when everyone came together to go and figure out how are we going to escape this murder charge. And they did the smartest thing they could, because what ended up happening was Lou was upset. She was arguing with Polo because Polo's mothers were the ones who were sponsoring this scholarship, and they took it back when Lou and Nadia did that speech acknowledging that their friends were suspended because of Polo and Polo's actions, even though I felt like you should have known that was going to happen. But Polo came to the party just to apologize to everyone, and he was going to turn himself in. I respect that. Polo standing up to his mothers. He was telling the truth finally. I said, this is the person that we can work with. Too bad you have to die. And Lou, they had a thing of champagne. The bottle broke because she dropped it. She still kept the bottle neck, and she was holding it, accidentally stabbed him. She didn't mean it. And people could tell she was drunk. She didn't mean it. He fell. He only fell through and died because when Samuel betrayed Rebecca punched Samuel, punched him square into the glass wall. And it created a crack, and it kept cracking quickly, like by the hour. It kept cracking until Polo hit it and he went right through. I did feel like the hole kind of seemed a little too small for Polo to go through and how it was angled, but okay, maybe I'm reading too much into the details. All that matters is that he died. Guzman, at first I thought that he was just joking, but he actually felt bad. I was like, huh? What? And then everyone realized in order to hide who was the real killer, they needed to devise the ultimate plan. They're going to blame everyone else. At first I thought, how is this going to work? But yeah, if they're all drinking, if it's dark and all of that, and they all say, oh, it was this person, oh, it was that person, oh, it was that person, then it could work. And it was working. They even put all their fingerprints all over the bottle so that they did everything they could. They even had, what's her face, the liar, come in and do something halfway decent so that she can, her storyline being attached to Polo, I wasn't really feeling that. Maybe this upcoming season she'll have growth because she finally stopped just trying to ride his coattails per se, and she's going to stick to her pay grade, which is she's going to go to public college. She's actually going to work at the school as the same job her mom was in, just so that she can make money to do so. A lot of this, so Guzman, what's his name? Guzman, Samuel, I think maybe even Rebecca, as well as Ander, and even Omar. Omar is now in the school, because remember, his grades are terrible. We're not going to go there. They're in the school, but everyone else graduated and left. So it's going to be interesting to see who these new people are. I do like how they're doing it, though. This is the way for a show to go on for years. You have to keep it fresh and introduce new people over time. So I like that. But yeah, my favorite part was when Lou did that speech to the investigator, and it was like, I still have a heart, bit. I still have a heart, you beat. I was like, Lou, don't turn me into a stand for you. But yeah, that was pretty much it. Even Valario was becoming a better person, and Carla getting control of her family's winery thanks to her new friend Uri, doing her that solid. That was cool. That was decent because, again, he also realized he was using her. Everyone's using each other, but that's life. So let me know what you think. Please like, comment, subscribe. I did not think I was going to talk this long.